up later on. He already mentions the carbon credits, and that was also one of the topics for our last conversation, because this will focus on the innovative and rapidly evolving fields of real-world asset tokenization. For this, please welcome Jaap and Marti. Gentlemen. Jaap.
Hello.
You also brought a little fan club. That's nice.
Good afternoon, sir.
Marti.
Yeah, well,
Sure. Oh, please, no, sir.
All good?
I feel so old. Please have a seat over here. All right, gentlemen.
Finally a seat today.
Finally a seat
Refreshing.
today. Yeah, I'm so sorry. We were sold out, and that's the nice thing nowadays with events, that people don't buy a ticket like half a year ago when we launched the event, but usually a lot of people buy a ticket a day in advance, and we cannot get more seats. So sorry. But you can stay here. I'll bring you some beers at the drink.
Excellent.
But first, have a little conversation. Maybe we can start with a little introduction first. Marti.
Let's go. I'm Marti, head of marketing at decubate.com. We started as a launchpad, although everything changed quite a lot since we first started back in 2021. Right now, we do help projects to launch, manage, and scale their businesses, their Web3 businesses. So actually here, there's different ways that we can work with a project. The first one is, if it's on a super early stage, we do help with incubation and advisory as well through the Decubate venture side. Another possibility is projects that just want to have an IDO, a public round. On our platform, these projects usually come 1 month prior to the actual TG/IDO, and we help with that as well. And the third possibility is there are also projects that come to us only for the B2B solutions that we provide, that goes inside the Decubate technologies. And there, I want to highlight the main tools that we have that are the vesting and staking ones, both of them white label, and we manage more than 500 million TVL combined on those tools.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Jaap Harmsma, live in the north of the Netherlands. Most of our team is Dutch, actually. So we also have a Dutch entity in the Netherlands that's quite unique for a crypto project, I guess. So you mentioned it already about the carbon credit. So we are not selling carbon credits, by the way, it's carbon debits. So we plant trees. We already planted 3 million trees in the Amazon rainforest. We tokenize them. We also tokenize the CO2 that is being absorbed by these trees. Companies can use the CO2 tokens to offset their emissions. It's to compensate, so it's not lowering, but it's compensating for their carbon emissions. So I think we are a perfect example of a real-world asset project with a real impact in the real world.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, if companies, they say like, hey, you know, like, I really want to compensate for what most companies now, they don't have any paper cups anymore. They run some electric cars and that kind of stuff. But if they want to go a little bit further, then they can come to your organization, and you will help them with offsetting the debits, like the carbon emissions. And are you also calculating that for them, or?
We are not a real expert in this. We do offer a carbon calculator on our website where you can also check your own personal footprint. Many people don't even have a clue about your personal footprint.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, but it depends on your lifestyle. So it could
I love meat. I fly too many times. So
yeah, if you fly a lot, it might be a little bit higher than average, I guess. We are no experts in this, so we use consultants who are specialized in measuring carbon offsets for a company or an entity or whatever. So we only offer some basic measurements.
And I have to say what I think is very cool. So everybody here in the audience also, I hope, feels great when they walk outside. Together with you guys, we make this event fully carbon positive. Right? No? Carbon negative.
Yeah, carbon
Yeah, we compensated for all the emissions that we cause with these events. All the flights, all the meat and the sandwiches, whatever, we compensate. So thank you so much for that. Now, thank you so much. Now, let's dive a little bit deeper also in the topic for today. How do you see asset tokenizing really transforming like these traditional markets, and what industries are likely to benefit the most? What do you think? I mean, we see all the general things, right? It's easier to sell assets or to sell them all around the world, but what other factors do you see in transforming these traditional markets?
Go first.
Please.
I think real estate is a very good example.
Yeah.
We are seeing loads of projects offering real estate. You can buy a fraction of a building or a house or a company. So that's a good example. Of course, like your previous guest actually mentioned, carbon credits will be a big thing online. It's also based on real world assets. Yeah, and there are a lot of specific projects working on, for example, you can replace a notary. In the Netherlands, it's a notaris for the Dutch people. I think blockchain will take over most of their job, their work. So those are some pretty good examples, I guess.
No, Marti.
No, I do fully agree with him. I do think that those industries or verticals that have high barriers of entry are the ones that will benefit the most from this. So obviously you have real estate, especially because what you're looking forward is on an increase of decentralized liquidity on these verticals. Liquidity, it's easy to get, especially in real estate. You have the BlackRocks and stuff of the world. But the fact of getting that liquidity on a decentralized manner, it's like way more difficult. And this is something that happens on real estate, maybe also on art, where the barriers to entry are like really, really high. And then there are other industries where it's not because of the financial reasons, let's say, but you have supply chain management, for instance, where RWA can also play a crucial role in order to better track the supply chain at the end.
And what barriers should we still overcome when it comes to the tokenization? What kind of barriers? Is it like, I mean, is it very easy at your platform to just offset and...
Yeah, well, then it's easier to answer from our project's perspective, I guess. But so the technology isn't really the problem to build it, but it's the awareness and the fact that there are some powers in especially the Web3 world. We have to row against the stream, basically, because RWA is basically a narrative, right? The last week not anymore, by the way, but it is popular. But there are some other narratives right now, basically taking over the whole scene. So we need to mature as a crypto blockchain world. The same happened to gold, right? In the beginning, gold was also very volatile. It wasn't a mature market. It took 20 years to fully mature. And I think the same will happen to this business. Yeah. And then quality will be more important over meme tokens.
Now, you mentioned quite a traditional financial instrument. If we zoom out a little bit, what is the potential impact of this tokenization on traditional financial systems and institutions, and how can they really adapt to this shift? I mean, do you see already a lot of traditional organizations that are adapting, that are already working with tokenization, or are they still a little bit hesitant? Because like usually when I'm talking with organizations about the implementation of whatever NFTs or crypto, sometimes they're still a little hesitant because they still think that blockchain is Bitcoin and it's speculative and that kind of stuff. But how do you see this?
I think that they need to embrace this technology, first of all. Like, I'm from Barcelona, Spain, and we faced a problem there with the taxi drivers and the Uber and Cabify and all these kind of companies, you know, where the taxi drivers paid a high amount for their licenses. So basically they didn't want that new influx of taxi drivers, no? So I think the same is here, no, where the traditional sector needs to quickly adapt if they don't want to be pushed aside to some extent. Because we need to always remember that the innovation, the core innovation comes from startups. It doesn't matter if it's on the blockchain world or on the actual startup scene. Yeah. But the innovation comes from these small companies. It's not usually the OKX or Coinbase or the big guys who provide the innovation. Or if they do that, it's through small departments, you know. that's why it's really important to push that.
Yeah. Now, what are things that are right now just not possible yet? I mean, I can see you guys are innovating on an ongoing basis. I see a lot of cool updates coming by on the social media channels from both of you. What things are technically not possible yet that you really would like looking forward to actually implement this within your own organization? Do you have some boundaries already?
Yeah, but that's really specific. We have some boundaries. We are using Polygon right now as a main blockchain, but because of the fact we approach each and every single tree as a different entity, so a different administration. So we planted over 3 million. Right now, it's becoming very complex in order to create these carbon offset certificates. So we basically need a blockchain with a bigger block size, with a larger capacity. So we are working on that actually right now. So we are actually facing issues on an existing layer 2 blockchain.
Yeah.
And we need to build workarounds in order to get it working.
Are there not like easy solutions already for scaling this?
Well, we use batch transactions basically. So you need to split up your transactions in different transactions. So it's batched, but it's not ideal because if halfway there the batch for some reason will be rejected, it's very difficult to know where you actually ended up, and recover your transaction. That's pretty hard.
And that needs to be done manually?
The recovery part, yes. Yeah.
That's why it gets tricky.
Yeah. That's very difficult for us. So we want to avoid that.
Now, we have the MICAR coming up, mainly focusing on cryptos, of course. There might be also some impact, of course, on tokenization. Will it have a positive impact, do you think?
I do think it will have a positive impact. But here I want to go back to what I just said previously. I was having chats today with a lot of people that are going after the MiCA licenses. Yeah. And when we talk about the cost that range between 100K to 150K, and there's no guarantee of you actually getting the license,
That's a lot of money.
Exactly. So that's the thing, that for these small startups, it's something that it gets super tricky because we as a launchpad know, for instance, all the listing fees that they need to pay to list on the exchanges. But then they see the return there. On the MiCA regulations, they know that it will provide value, but it's way more difficult to actually find the monetary reason behind it, So that's what is getting tricky. And the fact that we have regulatory frameworks that are different on each region is making the global picture way more difficult. And actually, one of the main goals of blockchain Bitcoin was to connect and decentralize everything, So I think that the organizations need to work together on putting a global framework or something.
Yeah. We already have to close down this conversation. I'm going to combine a question from the audience and my own question, because I was asked my speakers, like, hey, what is this one trend that you're really looking forward to when it comes to blockchain technology? And I'm going to combine it with the other trends. The other question, like what kind of assets do you think will be the front runners in RWA in the near future? Can I start with you?
I think with what you just finished, it's actually a really great point, because I think one of the emerging trends that RWA will face is to actually do that, to actually expand the amount of assets that are currently under the current circulation. So that's the first thing. Then we do have, as you mentioned, a lot of industry, especially traditional finance, that will need to adapt pretty quick. Also art, real estate are big part on that.
Cool. Jaap.
Well, obviously, I'm going to add carbon debits to this list, but I fully agree with what you mentioned. Yeah.
So no more exciting assets that you think could also be interesting?
No.
Other cool developments that you're looking forward to?
Developments?
Yeah, when it comes to blockchain technology in a broader sense.
Well, technical developments is something else, but I'm hoping that the market will mature faster than I think right now. That's the kind of development I'm looking for.
Yeah, is it not maturing
That's also a
fast?
development, right?
Yeah, but is it not maturing fast enough?
No, it can never be fast enough.
And I think there's a reason here that actually links pretty well with what you just mentioned, that it's this security. Security needs to increase in order to move the traditional finance users to the Web3. Because when you have these many exploits on rug pulls, on bridges, on a lot of stuff, a lot of things going on, it's a bit difficult to move or to convince people to jump to Web3. Yeah.
All right. With that, I would like to close. Jaap, Marti, thank you so much.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you.